Rohan Gupta, anti-incumbency is what the opposition has been banking on, an element of fatigue. It doesn't seem to have set in. For all the attempts made by the opposition to raise these issues, it appears that while some of these issues like unemployment and price rise do resonate with voters, they do not translate into any kind of anger against the Modi government. That is very clear. This poll is not showing anger, particularly among those who voted for the BJP in 2019, because you need voters to switch for you to win an election next year.
Rajdeep, I'll just remind you a small thing. Since last December 22 till date, there are 4 major state elections happened, and all 4 state BJP was in power. It was Gujarat, it was Himachal, it was MCD, obviously Delhi is big, so I'm just considering as a small state, and Karnataka. And all out of these 4 places, now BJP is only in one place, that is Gujarat. So don't you feel that is also mood of the nation? See, I'm not trying to question here the methodology of your poll and all, but we need to see the larger perspective where the nation is moving on. Same Mr. Modi, if you see Karnataka, it was the Mr. Modi's face, the whole election was fought. There was no other issue with BJP. It is only Mr. Modi. If these people are satisfied with Mr. Modi, if price rise and unemployment and poverty are not such big issues, then I think the same should have been resonated in all state elections. The way the polls, other polls, I don't know whether India Today has done poll till date now or not. Chhattisgarh poll or MP poll or, many other polls, they are showing that BJP is again losing them. So I feel that,
You're making a very interesting point which we should take to Ashok Malik and Rahul Verma, because Ashok Malik, there is some disjunction between state poll verdicts that we've seen over the last 6 months and what our mood of the nation is showing. Do you think this reflects what many believe is a voter looking very differently when we ask him questions as to who do you want as your next prime minister, or how do you rate the NDA government at the center, versus how do you rate state governments, including state governments of the BJP?
Rajiv, with due respects, voters have been looking very different at state and union government elections or assembly and parliamentary elections for the past 15 or 20 years. This is hardly a new phenomenon. If you go back to 2009, when the Congress wins Andhra Pradesh with just about 50% of the seats, and on the same day, voters in Andhra Pradesh vote for 3 out of 4 seats in Andhra Pradesh for the parliamentary election go to the Congress. And I can give you numerous such examples. So people are clearly voting very differently, looking for very different leaders, looking for at different parties and different issues at the local level and at the national level. Sometimes the voting preferences do coincide, but when they do coincide, it is because there are local factors, granular factors that influence them in their local provinces and local states. So it's even the upcoming state elections in 5 states are going to be fought on very different issues and themes than the parliamentary election of May 2024. So that
Rahul Verma, you want a preliminary comment on that? Should we be looking at this firm disjunction between state election patterns, how voters perceive the center and the state? Is that something that is coming through already?
Yes, I completely agree with Ashok ji on this. We have seen, in past 10, 15 years, we are seeing this pattern. There is a section of voters which basically switch sides. But more than that, I think I want to make 2 comments. First, on the achievements and failures, the data you showed. See, what this does is basically now we are in an era where a large proportion of voters have already made their minds whom to vote. And so when they are listing the achievements and when they are listing the failure, you see 2 different things, because the BJP side or BJP tilting voter is going to look at very different things, and the opposition party voters are basically going to cite very different things, which means the achievements and failures actually offer mobilizing strategies for different parties. BJP is going to basically build their campaign on the ideological issue of 370, corruption-free government and those kind of things, and the opposition has some chances using the economic thing. Second point, which is about the stability of numbers on the performance as well as PM's rating. In short run, this is a good news for BJP. If the elections are becoming, and that's, I think, largely like what's happening in national state elections, is Modi being on the ticket for national elections and being able to pull a large section of those undecided voters towards the BJP. In short run, this is a good news for BJP, but I think in the medium to long term, this may also be an Achilles heel for BJP, because party has to also think what would happen post Modi.